This page is the cover of the April 24, 1998 issue of Saturn Fan Magazine, prominently featuring a detailed image of a green Zaku 2 mobile suit from the Mobile Suit Gundam universe, alongside a small harrow. The main focus is on a strategy special report for Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition, promising a 12-page commentary on the opening scenarios. There's also coverage of Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die, detailing special information gleaned from deep gameplay sessions. The cover also teases reports on anticipated and ongoing titles, including Super Robot Wars, F Final Chapter, Darkstalkers 3, listed as Vampire Savior, Shining Force 2 I Scenario 2, Gang Griffin 2, and Langrisser vs. For those seeking guidance, there are complete strategy guides for the light gun shooter, the House of the Dead, and the strategy RPG Dragon Force 2. Adontis. Additionally, there's a report tracking games seen at the Tokyo Game Show, specifically mentioning D2 and Monster Maker. It's a packed issue covering a diverse range of popular Saturn genres. The next page features a dramatic double-page spread, focusing on the game D2. The left side is dominated by a striking close-up of the main character, Laura Lewis, rendered in CG with her eyes closed. The right side prominently displays the large, red title, D2. Below the title, it mentions that the game runs under something represented by stylized red symbols, likely indicating the platform, though the exact symbols are unclear. The lower right of the page includes contact information for the developer, Warp Inc., along with their address and website. This page serves as a visual introduction to the game D2, building on the previous page's mention of it being featured in the Tokyo Game Show report, giving readers a first look at the protagonist and developer behind this intriguing title. This page serves as the table of contents for Sega Saturn Fan, issue number 8, dated April 24, 1998. The right side clearly displays the main features, kicking off with in-depth coverage of major titles like Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition, and Sakura Wars 2, Kimi, Shinitamu Koto Nakare. There's also a feature on the Super Robot Wars Flight Complete Edition. Previews cover anticipated releases like Shining Force 2, I Scenario 2, Nerawareta Kaminoko, and Revolutionary Girl Utena. Itsuka Kakume Sareru Monogatari. The contents also list strategy guides, reviews of new releases including Vampire Savior, Savaki, and Bomberman Wars, and regular features like reader mail and game rankings. The left side is dedicated to an advertisement for Koro Q Park. This whimsical racing game features the popular chibi cars known as Koro Q, or penny racers. The ad shows colorful illustrations of the miniature cars racing through various environments, highlighting features like multiple courses, split-screen multiplayer, and on- and off-road gameplay. It lists the price as 5,800 yen, excluding tax, and notes that it is now on sale from Takara. The overall tone is lighthearted and fun, matching the game's aesthetic. This page kicks off a comprehensive strategy guide for Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition, a highly anticipated simulation title. The focus is on helping players understand the fundamental game flow by breaking it down into distinct phases: strategy, action setting, and battle. It delves into the critical early game events for both the Principality of Zeon and the Earth Federation, providing detailed analysis. The guide also offers tactical advice on capturing and defending important strategic locations. Visually, the page includes screenshots showcasing the game's map screens, unit deployment interfaces, intense mobile suit battle sequences, and even character portraits, such as the iconic Chara Zenable, to immerse players in the Universal Century conflict. This first installment promises to lay the groundwork for mastering the complex simulation, ensuring players are well equipped to navigate the initial stages and potentially alter the course of history. This page continues the tactical breakdown of Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition, serving as a guide for new commanders. It covers essential strategies for surviving the one-year war, including deploying units effectively based on battle conditions, and understanding the vital role of supply lines for troop movement. The guide also touches upon the optimal timing for initiating various operations, and the advantage of focusing intense, short battles on key enemy strongholds. The core of the page delves into the early game events, specifically for the Earth Federation, highlighting pivotal choices that drastically alter the story. It details the initiation of Operation V, the development of iconic mobile suits like the Gundam, and the RX series recovery mission. Crucially, it outlines the player's decision regarding the White Base crew, led by Bright Noah and featuring Amuro Ray. Choosing to disband the crew or keep them together leads to vastly different scenarios, impacting characters like Matilde Akaljan and influencing encounters with Zeon forces, including Garmazabi and Ramba Ral. The page emphasizes how these early decisions can result in characters following their historical paths, deviating entirely, or even facing tragic fates, fundamentally changing the game's narrative compared to the original anime. It's a deep dive into how player agency reshapes the Universal Century conflict. This page dives into the early game events, specifically for the Zeon Principality in Mobile Suit Gundam: Giran's Ambition. Just like the Federation side, Zeon faces pivotal decisions that can drastically alter the timeline. It kicks off with Garmazabi's fateful encounter with the White Base. Depending on the outcome, Garma may meet his historical end or, surprisingly, survive. Following Garma's fate, a major branching point occurs regarding Char Aznable. Players must decide whether to punish Char for his role in Garma's situation. Punishing him results in Char being sidelined, while not punishing him keeps him available for future operations. This decision heavily influences later events. The guide also details the deployment of Ramba Ral. A crucial choice arises whether to send supplies to Ramba Ral's unit. Providing support can lead to his success against the White Base, potentially altering his tragic fate from the anime. Failure to send supplies likely results in his historical defeat. Furthermore, the page covers the potential dispatch of the Black Tri-Stars and the consequences of this assignment, often leading to their significant losses if sent against the White Base. Other events like the Side 7 investigation and follow-ups involving Char or supply units are also outlined, showcasing how Zeon's early actions create vastly different paths through the one-year war compared to the original story. These strategic choices are key to surviving and potentially winning the conflict. The next page offers crucial strategy for capturing key bases in Mobile Suit Gundam: Giran's Ambition, essential for building a strong foundation and generating resources. It emphasizes that enemy defenses at these vital locations are dynamic, changing as the game progresses, highlighting the importance of intelligence gathering. The guide suggests deploying ample force, recommending a ground-to-air unit ratio of around 3:1 for efficiency. Players have two options for victory: total annihilation of defenders or taking control of the base, each with different implications. The page also details how choosing the correct entry point into a base area is a critical strategic decision. Specific strategies are provided for capturing important bases like Odessa and New York, outlining the best approaches for ground and air units, and noting unique challenges such as Odessa's role in Operation Odessa or New York's significant sea area affecting deployment. These strategic insights are vital for players looking to secure their territory and advance effectively in the game. This page dives into strategic locations and unit management within Mobile Suit Gundam: Giran's Ambition. It details strategies for key bases like California, noting its similarity to New York but with terrain challenges, and Hawaii, highlighting the difficulty of ground deployment due to its water-heavy map. Kilimanjaro is presented as a difficult terrain, requiring coordinated air and ground assaults. The guide also emphasizes the crucial role of naval and air units in operations, suggesting tactics like luring out enemy ground forces and using amphibious units. General tips include managing the unit deployment limit of 150 across both Earth and space, advising players to produce units strategically to avoid exceeding this cap. It strongly recommends keeping a close eye on both Earth and space theaters of war, as success requires balancing efforts on both fronts simultaneously to react to changing situations and maintain an advantage. This page continues the tactical breakdown of Mobile Suit Gundam: Giran's Ambition, focusing on strategic locations and effective units. Kings. It covers the strategic importance of peaking, noting it's generally straightforward but emphasizes securing supplies. Trenton is highlighted as a coastal stronghold where naval forces are crucial, advising entry via submarine. Madras presents a mixed land and sea map, suggesting attacking by sea might be easier due to challenging terrain inland. The guide also discusses rapid deployment strategies, particularly for naval units from Hawaii heading towards Australia, mentioning the need to secure landing zones and noting the potential for chaos during base assaults. It touches upon the importance of ground units outside key points and the option to disperse forces. A section is dedicated to recommended units, suggesting units necessary for controlling strategic points. The Dodai YS, a flight base, is recommended for its ability to carry mobile suits, allowing rapid deployment to capture distant points or assist ground units. The Mozilla attack tank is praised for its range against enemy tanks, like the Federation's Type 61. Although it's vulnerable after attacking, the ZGOK amphibious mobile suit is highlighted for its strong melee and ranged capabilities, performing exceptionally well in water against both ground and air targets, making it a versatile choice for coastal operations.
This page dives into a strategy guide for Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die, focusing on the crucial early stages, specifically episodes 1 and 2. The core of the guide revolves around mastering the LIP system and utilizing effective combat tactics. A major emphasis is placed on building trust with the various members of the Flower Division, as this directly impacts gameplay and story progression. The guide provides specific examples of LIPS choices for characters like Sakura, Sumire, Kana, Iris, and Reni, Kuran, detailing how different responses affect their trust levels. It highlights which choices lead to significant trust increases, often crucial for unlocking more powerful abilities or events. The expert analysis points out that some choices have a bigger impact than others, and advises players on the best responses to maximize relationships quickly in the early game. Beyond relationships, the guide offers essential tips for the combat part, focusing on the power of joint attacks and combination attacks. These powerful moves are key to dealing high damage, particularly against tough enemies or bosses. Understanding character compatibility and positioning is shown to be vital for effectively unleashing these devastating attacks. Overall, this page serves as an essential early game primer for players looking to build strong bonds with their teammates and dominate the battlefield in Sakura Wars 2. This page continues the in-depth strategy guide for Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die, focusing on navigating the Grand Imperial Theater and building crucial relationships early in the game. It breaks down various key events and the optimal LIPS choices to maximize trust with the Flower Division members. The guide covers specific locations within the theater, such as the Imperial entrance, the office area, the courtyard, and the private rooms of characters like Sakura, Iris, and Orihime. For each area, it details scripted events, often involving dialogue choices that directly impact character trust levels. The guide emphasizes that selecting the correct responses in the LIP system is paramount, illustrating with screenshots which choices boost trust and which might lower it. Special attention is given to raising the trust of Sakura and Iris upon entering the theater, and a significant section is dedicated to interacting with Orihime, highlighting specific events like communications via the device in the commander's room and encounters in her dressing room or elsewhere in the theater. The guide stresses that interaction with Orihime is a key focus for building her trust at this stage. It also covers interactions with other members like Sumire, Kuran, Maria, and Kana through various events and LIPS prompts encountered while exploring the theater map. Mastering these early interactions through careful LIP selections is presented as essential for progressing favorably and unlocking future events. This page continues the strategic walkthrough for Sakura Wars 2, detailing events leading up to and including the first battle, then transitioning into Chapter 2 with a focus on building trust with Iris. The guide explains the preparations for the initial battle, emphasizing key LIPS choices in the operations room and on the stage that boost Sakura's and Iris's reliability. It provides stats for the enemy Kubu types and offers tactics for the first boss encounter against the Dark God Power, highlighting its strengths and weaknesses. Moving into Chapter 2, titled Iris's Letter, the focus shifts to significantly increasing Iris's trust. It outlines important locations and events within the Grand Imperial Theater. The guide details the start of the chapter in the dressing room, where helping either Orihime or Iris impacts relationships. It then provides a navigation strategy for exploring the theater within a time limit, recommending visits to places like the warehouse and bathroom to trigger LIPS events vital for raising trust with Iris and Sakura. The warehouse section specifically guides you through finding hidden items to achieve significant trust boosts. Mastering these early LIPS interactions is key to progressing favorably. This page continues the Sakura Wars 2 walkthrough, detailing crucial LIPS choices and battle strategies in the early chapters. It covers interactions on the first floor of the Grand Imperial Theater, including the captain's room with Maria, and communications with Sumire, Kana, and Kuran, explaining how choices impact various characters' trust levels. A specific section reminds players to learn Liani's given name, a task presented during the game. The guide then moves to the operations room and the first battle. It outlines the strategic options, attack focus and defense focus, recommending the former for the initial encounters due to the objective of destroying steam stands. It provides stats and details for the first boss, the Dark God Blade, and a standard enemy,
highlighting their strengths and the boss's powerful special attack, the Ogre God Crushing Heaven Kill. Finally, the page transitions to the second floor, setting up the next phase of the walkthrough, where visiting locations like the music room, Oriheim's room, and the salon is key to further increasing Sakura's trust through specific Lips events. The guide emphasizes that building relationships and trust is critical for success. This page continues, the Sakura Wars 2 walkthrough, guiding players through critical events and choices on the first floor of the Grand Imperial Theater. It details encounters with Iris and Saki, emphasizing the importance of Lips selections in affecting character trust levels. Key interactions include comforting Iris, responding to Saki's advances, and communicating with Flower Division members like Maria, Kana, Sumair, and Kuran, showing how specific dialogue options increase or decrease their trust. The guide then shifts focus to the game's first major battle, located in the operations room. It explains the strategic choices available, recommending the attack-focused strategy to efficiently destroy the enemy steam stands, which are the primary objective. Details are provided on the initial enemies and the first boss, the imposing Dark God Blade, including its powerful special attack. The page also mentions the combined attack with Iris as a tactic. Finally, it covers a dramatic plot point that occurs after the battle where Yonakita is shot. This page features an interview with Chisa Yokoyama, the talented voice actress behind Sakura Shinguji in the Sakura Wars series. The interview covers her thoughts on returning for Sakura Wars 2, discussing the nuances of portraying Sakura again and the challenges of voice acting for the game. She shares insights into the recording process, including anecdotes from the game's commercial shoots and memorable moments working alongside the cast, specifically mentioning interactions with Fujiku. The discussion also touches on her experiences in the musical stage adaptations of Sakura Wars, highlighting the difference between voice acting and live performance. Visually, the page includes photographs of Chisa Yokoyama and striking screenshots of Sakura Shinguji, giving a glimpse into her iconic character. The interview provides a personal look at the actor's connection to the beloved franchise, and her experience bringing one of its central characters to life. This page presents a special report on Super Robot Wars 5th Final, the climactic conclusion to the Super Robot Wars 5th Saga. It begins by showcasing dynamic battle sequences, including powerful attacks like the space-cutting Light Fang Sword, emphasizing the visual spectacle the game offers. The article then delves into the escalating story, introducing 5 key scenarios. It highlights the return of major players like Heyman Karn and the increasing threat posed by the Titans, setting the stage for intense strategic combat. One scenario, Separation, Part 1, is detailed, involving a timed mission requiring players to explore locations on the map while engaging enemies. The narrative summary provides context for the London Bell team's journey, their strategic movements, and the conspiracies they face. Screenshots throughout the page display the tactical map, exciting combat animations, and character dialogue portraits. Prominent artwork of the Mecha Dan Kuga reinforces the game's impressive roster. The feature underscores that the game is nearing release, promising a thrilling finale to the storyline. This page continues the in-depth look at Super Robot Wars Final, diving into more crucial scenarios as the game approaches its release. It picks up with the common scenario, Separation, Part 2, where the London Bell team faces off against the Federation forces and the formidable Psycho Gundam Mk2, piloted by Rosamia Badam, as they try to escape a pincer attack. Next, it details the Super Robot Path scenario Bonds, featuring classic units like Mazinger Z and Great Mazinger, joining the fight alongside other heroes against Mechanical Beasts and the Hayaki Empire. The story centers around a trip to the Photon Power Laboratory and the challenges faced there. Following that is the Real Robot scenario, Titan's Pursuit, highlighting the struggle against customized violent units piloted by Titan's aces like Jared, Layla, and Kakrakan. This storyline involves escaping pursuit and receiving support from allies like Karoba and the Adhumla. Finally, the common scenario, the Rumored Banjo, introduces the mighty Daytarn 3 into the fray, adding incredible power to the Lundo Bell team as they confront enemies like General Pudril. The report showcases dynamic combat screenshots, character portraits, and brief story summaries for each scenario, emphasizing the converging storylines and the exciting roster of mecha appearing in this climactic finale. This page features a special installment of the Super Robot Maniacs column,
Diving further into the upcoming Super Robot Wars final, Mio from the SRX team takes the lead, discussing mysteries surrounding the game and preparations for its release, while also highlighting the appearance of many new mechas, including mass-produced Gundams. The column also touches upon intriguing events seen in demos, questioning if they will appear in the final game, specifically mentioning the iconic Evangelion Yashima operation, featuring Shinji and Rei, and the potential resurrection of the Zabi brothers. The page includes screenshots showcasing battles and character portraits. It also features a segment dedicated to reader mail, where postcards and illustrations are shown and responded to, along with a Q&A section discussing the benefits of using sample data versus continued data for the game. Finally, there is an announcement for a Super Robot Spirit radio show, hosted by legendary singers Hironobu Kageyama and Masaaki Endo. The page is filled with vibrant illustrations and screenshots of units like Evangelion Unit 01, Mazinger Z, SD Gundams like Wing Zero and New Gundam, and an SRX-like unit. This page highlights the results of the first robot illustration contest announced previously. It features the top prize-winning illustration of a dynamic black and orange robot, along with other excellent entries including a large green robot with a pilot, a group illustration of various characters and robots, Wing Gundam, and a character likely from Virtual On. The page also includes a grid showcasing numerous small illustrations submitted by readers. The right side features the Super Robot Memorial File Volume 15, dedicated to Mobile Fighters D Gundam. It discusses the unique concept of Gundam's mobile fighters representing different countries, and highlights key mecha like the Shining and God Gundams. The file also mentions the series' focus on character interactions and iconic elements like the Devil Gundam and Master Asia. Reader illustrations are also shown in this section, including Evangelion Unit 01, a female character, and a large illustration of an SRX-like unit with a sword. The page concludes with a major announcement for the next issue, promising a large feature on the upcoming Super Robot Wars F Final, which will include strategy guides and special SRX content, coinciding with the game's release. This page dives into a report from the Tokyo Game Show, 98 Spring, highlighting some anticipated titles and show floor buzz. The event saw a record-breaking 148,000 attendees, reflecting the excitement surrounding the gaming industry at the time. A major point of interest was Warp's mysterious game, D2, which generated significant buzz with flyers distributed at the Sega booths, prompting media speculation. The magazine reveals details from the flyer, promising a shocking confession and anticipation for the game's release. Another notable presence was NEC Interchannel, showcasing Monster Maker, Holy Dagger. While details were limited, a demo was shown, and iconic characters like Ruffy and Rorionen were spotted. The game appeared to feature 3D environments, with characters navigating the world. Questions were posed to the publicity staff regarding the game's visual style and the nature of its graphics, such as using 3D terrain with what appeared to be 2D character sprites, and also mentioning other characters seen in CG renders from the Saturn version. The report includes photos of the bustling show floor and the Monster Maker booth. This page continues the report from the Tokyo Game Show, 98 Spring, highlighting more titles and featuring a special giveaway. Bandai showed off an intriguing gun-shooting game, possibly titled Millennium Fire, notable for its dynamic enemy behavior unlike typical rail shooters. Data East brought Data East Densetsu, a compilation promising arcade classics like Trio the Punch, though its release details were still pending at the time. Victor Interactive revealed a realistic fishing simulation, Murakoshi Masami no Bakusu Nihon Retu, utilizing real-life footage to enhance the experience. Capcom was also present, featuring Capcom Generation, a collection packed with vintage arcade hits such as 1942 and Ghosts and Goblins. The right side of the page offers a special chance for readers to win exclusive merchandise from the Tokyo Game Show 98, featuring goods from various developers like Sega, SNK, and Bandai, including promotional items, posters, and unique collectibles from the show floor. This giveaway provides a taste of the special items attendees could acquire at the event. This page features a detailed look at Another Memories, a fantasy romance adventure game developed by Starlight Mary, the creators behind the popular Eternal Fantasy series. The artwork is lush and colorful, featuring a bright main character, playful fairies, and a captivating group illustration showing the primary cast. The article highlights that the Sega Saturn version comes packed with exclusive content, including a brand new opening movie
and approximately 800 additional voice lines compared to other versions. The game's visuals are noted for their unique pastel drawing style, which gives the event graphics a distinctive atmosphere, as seen in the included screenshots. One screenshot shows a dramatic scene with a boy and text overlay, while another illustrates a serene, dreamlike moment rendered in pastels. The developer's pedigree with the Eternal Fantasy series suggests a focus on charming characters and an engaging narrative. The page also provides standard game details like release date, price, and genre, confirming it's designed for a single player and rated for all ages. Another Memories promises a charming fantasy world for fans of adventure and romance simulations. This page delves deeper into Another Memories, continuing from the overview on the previous page by introducing the key characters that the player will interact with. The main focus is on the love memories spun with 7 girls, showcasing the 7 potential love interests in the game. The left side features Charlotte McQuain, portrayed as an excellent student but lacking assertiveness, Ariandine Chatranza, a noble daughter struggling with persistent approaches, Marcia Milligan, a highly talented magician from a renowned family, and Shirley Templeton, a quiet and mysterious classmate. Each is shown with a main illustration, a cute chibi version, and a brief profile highlighting their personality or background. The right side continues with the remaining girls. Iphy McQuain, a free-spirited, sexy girl who acts before thinking, and Olivia Evans, a girl from a common family who is good with words but carries a secret worry. Below these are 4 male characters, introduced as rivals or allies attending the same academy. These include Beasta Baldwin, described as having poor grades, Stanley Cardrack, a prince who starts bragging quickly, Mick Stewart, the unruly founder of a club, and Duran Arpside, a hunter who helped the protagonists. These male characters add depth to the narrative, influencing the relationships and story paths as the player navigates the academy life. The page effectively profiles the core cast, giving players a glimpse of the personalities they will encounter and potentially form bonds with. This page dives deeper into the gameplay of Another Memories, building on the character introductions from the previous page. It highlights the core 2-year journey at the Magic Academy, emphasizing the importance of a parameter called self, which influences the story and choices. The game blends adventure and simulation elements. Weekdays are spent at the academy, where the main narrative unfolds through story events and interactions with the 7 potential love interests and other characters like Duran. Sundays offer freedom to leave the academy, allowing players to improve their characters' stats through training, earn money by working part-time jobs in town, or simply explore and meet girls outside of the school setting, sometimes revealing a different side to them, as shown in the charming illustration. Beyond the daily routine, the game includes specific challenges. There are exams within the academy, requiring investigation or problem-solving. Club activities are also prominent, with characters like Mick actively recruiting members. Combat in Other Memories takes the form of a card battle system. Players build decks and use card combinations strategically to gain an advantage in encounters, adding a tactical layer to the adventure. The page showcases screenshots of the card battle interface and character illustrations related to these systems, like the self-parameter display and various school locations. The page concludes with a brief mention of a giveaway for game-related merchandise like creds and clear files. This page introduces the adventure game Etude, focusing on its systems and characters. The core gameplay involves navigating high school life and romance, making choices that affect relationships and the story. A key feature is the system notebook, allowing players to manage character data, including profiles and messages received, offering insights into interactions. Another unique system is the emotion matrix, which visually represents the emotional state and relationship dynamics between characters using a color-coded display. Checking this matrix helps players understand how their actions are influencing others. Beyond the main cast, several new sub-characters are revealed, including Ayusa Kemi, Minami Kasumi, Sanada Gakushi, and Kusanagi Nanaka. These characters are integral to the story and can significantly impact the narrative's direction and potential endings. The page also highlights new casual outfit designs for the main heroines, Hitomi and Mami, showcasing the attention to detail in their character artwork outside of their school uniforms. Screenshots illustrate the adventure game interface, the system notebook, and the emotion matrix, giving a clear look at the game's presentation and mechanics. This page features the strategic simulation gameback Gyner Awakening Arc, a port from the PlayStation version with over 40 minutes of animation, adding drama to the gameplay. The story is set in AD 2008 Japan, where monsters appear and humans fight back using humanoid weapons called shells. The protagonists are Minoru Mizuki and his childhood friend Natsumi,
who possess special abilities and join a special forces team to battle these creatures and uncover mysteries related to their past lives. The character animation director is Nao Tadashima. The gameplay is divided into distinct modes. It begins with an opening event, an anime sequence setting the scene and revealing the story. This transitions into the adventure mode, where players explore maps, interact with characters, and make choices to advance the narrative. This mode also includes anime scenes, and later allows customizing the protagonist's shells. Combat takes place in the simulation mode, a tactical battle system where you control shell units to defeat monsters and achieve victory conditions. Clearing a battle leads to an ending event, which provides the outcome of the fight and reveals further story elements before progressing to the next stage. The page includes various screenshots showing character portraits, mecha designs, the adventure mode map, and the tactical battle interface. This page features Shadows of the Tusk, a strategic simulation game where battles unfold on a 5x5 grid map, pitting forces of good and evil against each other across time. The story follows Richard Rosewall, a hero knight, as he confronts the powerful entity known as Tusk. A major highlight is the extensive character collection system. You can gather allies and even enemies to build your army, much like collecting cards. Units have different rarity levels and abilities, including magic and special skills, consuming mana to act. Initial placement on the map is crucial for success.
The game offers various modes, including a story mode detailing the narrative, practice mode against the computer, and versus mode for 2 players. Excitingly, it also supports online multiplayer via Xband. The article introduces key characters, such as the protagonist Richard Rosewall, a fearsome Tusk unit named Cuspid, and the supporting wizard Xanadok. Screenshots display the grid-based combat, character cards, and dynamic battle animations. This page reveals a unique blend of genres with Become the Coach for the National Team, described as the world's first soccer RPG. As the name suggests, you step into the role of the national team coach with the ultimate goal of winning the International Cup held every 4 years. The core gameplay loop involves being appointed coach, exploring different countries on a world map during free time to gather information and scout players, competing in matches where you manage tactics and players, and handling contract renewals. Exploration across 12 countries is key for discovering new talent and improving the team. During free time, you can visit various locations like the item shop to buy equipment that boosts player and coach abilities. Items are categorized and offer effects like increasing stamina, technique, or negotiation skills. You can also engage with facilities like the Winsrow Foundation for technical investment in soccer development, or interact with the Soccer Association for negotiations and arranging friendly matches, which help level up players and tactics. Other facilities include a dormitory for practice and a bar for information gathering.
The game hints at the challenge, stating winning the International Cup is a long road. Contract renewal is every 2 years, and failure to achieve results can lead to dismissal, resulting in a game over if no other offers come through.
This page delves further into the gameplay mechanics of Become the Coach for the National Team, world's first soccer RPG, focusing on match preparation, player management, contract dynamics, and various events. Before a match, you decide on tactical systems, starting lineups, and player positions. You can set up patterns for combined plays and designate a game maker for attacking focus or opponent markers for defense. Tactical instructions like attacking or defensive emphasis are also available.
Match results influence player and coach level-ups. Contract renewals happen every 2 years, and success attracts offers from other countries, which evaluate the coach differently. When you move teams, certain famous players act as companions and follow you. Notable examples listed include players from Italy, Germany, France, Spain, Argentina, and Brazil, covering various positions. The game world is dynamic, featuring events such as World Scouting Tours, shifts in national sentiment influenced by match outcomes, the development of your son as a player, and challenges from rival coaches. This page showcases 2 distinct titles. On the right, Langrisser v. The End of Legend takes center stage, with a major announcement about the return of its highly anticipated opening anime movie, a response to strong fan demand. This entry is highlighted as the grand finale and culmination of the series, picking up the story after Langrisser IV. It introduces the protagonist, the main villain Gizolf, who created artificial soldiers,
and an enhanced battle system promising deeper strategy. On the left we find more details on the unique soccer RPG. This section focuses on the opening story, detailing the protagonist's journey towards becoming the national team coach. It introduces key characters central to the narrative's start, including the association president, the protagonist's wife Mutsumi and son, his rival Tsunazawa, and Coach Kadoki. Profiles briefly describe their roles and personalities.
The page also mentions a game contest winner whose entry was a soccer game concept.
This page delves deeper into the highly anticipated return of the animated opening for Langrisser V, The End of Legend, a feature notably absent from the previous game. Fans were vocal, and the development team delivered a high-quality production, highlighted by character designer Urushihara's work and animation director Satoji Yoshimoto's direction. The page showcases stunning visuals from this opening movie, including dynamic battle scenes and introspective character moments. It also introduces key players in the narrative, such as the protagonist Sigma and the artificial soldiers known as Sotai, including Lambda and Omega, created by the villain Gizolf. The game promises abundant visual scenes integrated directly into the story's critical moments, enhancing the dramatic impact. An interview with animation director Yoshimoto reveals the passion behind the animation, focusing on themes like the decisive battle's eve for the opening, and ensuring the visuals resonate with players. The page underscores that Langrisser Vs. isn't just a tactical RPG, but a visually rich experience, pushing the hardware's capabilities.
This page features an in-depth look at Shining Force 2i Scenario 2, Targeted Child, highlighting new battle presentations and verifying the story sequence based on a sample room. It emphasizes the synchronicity events, where player actions in Scenario 1 directly impact the narrative, and encounters in Scenario 2. An example shows a pivotal dialogue choice in Scenario 1, affecting character interactions and potential allies in Scenario 2. The article also details several new battle and story systems introduced. These include strategic ship-to-ship combat, the ability to rescue captured allies during battles, a system for selecting points of interest in towns, and scenarios requiring players to avoid detection by patrols or navigate environmental hazards. Specific battle examples from Scenario 1 are showcased, such as defeating bosses like Fjarl to obtain critical items, or battling creatures like the baby dragon in a volcano cave, hinting at connections across scenarios. The review notes the addition of the Spectre enemy in the Espia Underground Ruins battle, suggesting its recurrence in later scenarios. Overall, the page conveys that Scenario 2 expands upon the foundation of Scenario 1, with significant new gameplay mechanics and story connections. This page continues the deep dive into Shining Force 2i Scenario 2, picking up right where Scenario 1 left off in Saraband, and immediately plunging players into the first battle at the port. A key feature highlighted is the concept of synchronicity, which truly comes alive as players experience intersecting viewpoints. The same events are shown from both Symbiosis' perspective, from Scenario 1, and Medion's, Scenario 2, revealing how player choices in one scenario can affect interactions and encounters in the other. The article details major plot points, including mysterious strategies involving characters like Fjarl and Creel, and the dramatic kidnapping of the Emperor by a masked group tied to the Empire. This introduces new key Imperial figures, such as the first Prince Majesty and his General Presby, and the second Prince, Arrogant with his General Fidelity, whose portraits are showcased. A significant example of synchronicity is the event in Saraband concerning Garrosh, where success or failure in rescuing him has tangible consequences, influencing future story developments and the role of other characters like Garrosh's brother. The page emphasizes how these interconnected events are central to the narrative across the different scenarios of Shining Force 2i. This page provides a dynamic preview of the Sega Saturn title, Revolutionary Girl Utena. It showcases the game's completely original opening movie, emphasizing its musical style and the use of digital animation techniques. The article features screenshots from the stunning opening sequence and highlights key early game scenes, including a duel against the character Chikaho Sanjuin. The text points out technical details regarding the animation quality achieved without traditional cell-based methods. Additionally, the page includes the Conehead Club, a community corner where readers share postcards, illustrations, and game-related discussions. They talk about playing various titles such as Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Grandia, and Azel, Panzer Dragoon Saga. The section also features small manga strips in the Manga to Go segment. It's a vibrant look into the Sega Saturn fan community's engagement and passion for gaming at the time. This page is a submission form, essentially a postcard template for readers of Saturn Fan Magazine to send in their contributions. It's set up for submissions to various magazine sections, including the game score table and notable sections like the Conehead Club, which we saw discussed reader contributions on the previous page. Readers fill in their details like address, name, age, and pen name, and select the section they are submitting to. There's space for the actual content of their submission, whether it's game scores, illustrations, or messages. It serves as the direct line for the community to interact with and contribute to the magazine's content. This page is the We Are Supporters and Conehead Club section, dedicated to reader submissions for various Sega Saturn games. It features fan mail, illustrations, and comments from players. The Dragon Force Fan Club section includes questions about the game's mechanics and loyalty, alongside fan art depicting characters like Joshua, Jumanon, Leon, Reynard, and Vals. The Grandia Company Soldiers focuses on the beloved RPG, showcasing charming fan illustrations of characters like Sue and Justin, reflecting the game's cheerful atmosphere. The Imperial Theater Guard section is dedicated to Sakura Wars, where fans share their excitement about merchandise and characters like Kana, accompanied by lively illustrations. Fans of the fighting game Darkstalkers can find their section titled Vampire Groovy, featuring dynamic art of characters such as BB Hood, Morrigan, Hisienko, and Lord Raptor. The Illustration Hall of Fame highlights top fan art submissions for games like Dragon Force, Grandia, Darkstalkers, and others, showcasing the talent within the community. Finally, the Cone Kids Network Board is a general forum where readers discuss game purchases, reviews, and express their enjoyment of the content provided in the magazine and the fan sections themselves, mentioning games like Shining Force 2i and Grandia. It's a vibrant display of fan interaction and passion for these classic Saturn titles. This page is a fan corner featuring reader art and comments on games like Dragon Force, Grandia, Sakura Wars, and Darkstalkers. This page features reader submissions for the Conehead Club, showcasing fan art, opinions, and discussions. The Illustration Gallery highlights impressive fan creations featuring characters from games like A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World, Princess Crown, Evil the Last One, and Baroque. The Record Preservation Committee section offers helpful advice on troubleshooting issues with the Sega Saturn's Power Memory Card, specifically focusing on cleaning contacts for better recognition. Reader feedback sections cover various topics, from impressions of the Tokyo Game Show and appreciation for voice actors, to thoughts on game reviews and personal favorites. Games like and Silhouette Mirage are mentioned in these discussions, along with recommendations for Thunder Force V and the RPG Magical Knight Rayer. The Sega AM Freak Corner is dedicated to Sega's arcade hits, featuring dynamic fan art and comments on games like Sega Rally Championship 2, Last Bronx, Fighting Vipers, and other titles from Sega's legendary AM divisions. Finally, the page provides the rules and address for submitting fan content, encouraging readers to share their passion for Sega games. This Sega Saturn magazine page features a reader survey offering 10 prizes, 5 copies each of 10 popular Sega Saturn games, including Super Robot Wars, F Final Chapter, and Shining Force 2, I Scenario 2. The survey asks about game preferences, hardware, other magazines read, and articles enjoyed, along with age and occupation. A comprehensive list of games, hardware, and magazines assists survey completion, while clear instructions ensure valid entries. A list of upcoming Saturn releases is also included. This page is a comprehensive list of Sega Saturn software released up to March 26th, neatly organized by genre. As a longtime fan of the Saturn, it's great to see this breakdown. The list covers all the major categories Saturn owners would be interested in, including intense fighting action titles, deep role-playing games, strategic simulations, immersive adventures, fast-paced 2D and 3D shooters, various sports and racing games, classic table games, and an other category for everything else. The titles within each genre are helpfully arranged by their release date, giving a clear picture of the Saturn's diverse library at that point in time. The editors note that they focus strictly on games with solid gameplay, excluding things like simple databases or photo collections, which is a good sign for players looking for substantive experiences. There's also a small call-out for reader prizes, referencing the titles offered in the survey from the previous page. This list serves as a valuable resource for Saturn enthusiasts tracking releases. This page delves into the mysterious world of Riven, the sequel to Myst,
offering essential guidance for players tackling the game's opening sections on Temple Island and Jungle Island. As a veteran of adventure games, I know Riven is notorious for its challenging puzzles, building on the legacy of the original Myst. This guide provides a valuable walkthrough for the initial stages, highlighting key locations like the Gate Room, Image Room, and the Magcar transport system, complete with a helpful map of Temple Island. It emphasizes core gameplay mechanics, like the importance of clicking on everything and paying attention to environmental details and hints. Furthermore, it introduces players to Riven's unique numerical system and symbols, crucial for solving later puzzles, and touches upon the island-hopping nature of the game, using various transport methods. It's a solid primer, helping players navigate the early complexities and prepare for the deeper mysteries Riven has to offer. This page is a detailed strategy guide for the arcade hit The House of the Dead, focusing on a complete walkthrough and analysis of stages 1 and 2. It provides a map of the second stage, referred to here as Jungle Island, highlighting key areas and potential branching paths players will encounter. As a fan of light gun shooters, I appreciate a good map to navigate the chaos. The guide emphasizes collecting important hints, specifically linking them to finding wooden orbs marked with numbers, which it oddly connects to the Riven world numerical system mentioned previously. This suggests a thematic link the magazine is trying to draw between the two games, focusing on numerical puzzles. It walks players through finding these hints at locations like the village entrance, submarine, coast, and school. Furthermore, the page breaks down the game's scoring system, explaining how points are awarded for defeating enemies, hitting headshots for bonus points, and, crucially, saving researchers, which is vital for maximizing your score and earning extra lives. It highlights that consistent headshots are the key to high scores. The content conveys the demanding nature of the game, and the need for precision to truly master it. The next page continues the deep dive into the House of the Dead, expanding on the strategic analysis of Stage 1 and moving into Stage 2. This section provides detailed route maps for both stages, illustrating the complex branching paths, the locations of endangered research scientists, score-boosting items like golden frogs, and life power-ups. For Stage 1, the guide breaks down the distinct routes players can take, including the right courtyard, left courtyard, and the challenging underground waterway, highlighting how saving or failing to save researchers dictates which path you follow. It offers key tips for navigating each area, pointing out dangerous enemies and optimal strategies. Stage 2, located on the second floor of the mansion, also features a map detailing its layout and branching points. The text continues to emphasize the importance of researcher rescues, explaining how they can lead to different paths or bonus areas. The guide provides specific tactical advice for dealing with enemies encountered in Stage 2, including fast, dangerous zombies, and notes the location of more valuable items like the golden frog score item and additional lives. This page reinforces the idea that mastering the branching paths and prioritizing researcher rescues are essential for success and high scores in this intense light gun shooter. This page continues the deep dive into the House of the Dead, offering advanced strategies for mastering the game. The left section focuses on score attack for Stage 1 in Saturn mode, emphasizing how to maximize points. The key here is using characters with lower attack power to land precise headshots, chaining kills, and prioritizing routes that offer life pickups and opportunities to save researchers, as these greatly impact your final score. It details specific paths like the front entrance and underground waterway, noting enemy placements and optimal tactics, including defeating the Stage 1 boss, Chariot, for maximum bonus points. The middle and right sections shift focus to Stage 2, located on the mansion's third floor. Described as having fewer branches than Stage 1, success in Stage 2 relies heavily on sharp shooting skills and remembering enemy patterns. The guide outlines the primary straight route through areas like the art room and research room. It stresses the importance of saving researchers encountered along the way, which can unlock bonus items or different paths. The page includes a helpful map illustrating the Stage 2 layout, highlighting branching points, locations of score items like the golden frog, life pickups, and researchers. This guide provides valuable tactical advice for navigating this more challenging stage and surviving its intense encounters. This page continues the in-depth guide for the House of the Dead, focusing heavily on mastering Stage 2. It breaks down the stage into its key areas and branching paths. The guide details strategies for navigating the second floor routes, describing the differences between Route A, which leads through the dining hall and kitchen with opportunities to save researchers, and the less crucial Route B. A helpful map is included, clearly illustrating the layout, item locations, and where researchers can be found. Moving up, the guide covers the 3 RD floor areas, including the mid-stage section and the research lab. It provides tips for dealing with specific enemy types encountered here and stresses the importance of saving researchers for valuable life and bonus items, like the Golden Frog. Finally, the page culminates with a comprehensive strategy for the Stage 2 boss, the Hanged Man. It explains the boss's attack patterns in its different phases, particularly its figure-8 flight path, and advises on optimal targeting to secure victory. The guide also touches on achievable scores for Stage 2, and includes a list of voice lines from Stage 1 as a bonus feature. This Dragon Force 2 guide focuses on the mid-game for rulers like Ebers, Gungas, and Barts. It emphasizes pre-battle preparation, including scouting the world map and reacting quickly, exploring caves for troop leveling and resources, maintaining strong castle defenses, and monitoring troop numbers are crucial. Visiting villages for information, events, and stat boosts is also advised. The guide advocates for measured combat, knowing when to retreat, and utilizing troop compatibility charts, organizing forces into 2 units, and strategically using ruler skills, especially magic, are highlighted. Specific tactics for battling demon types are also provided, emphasizing mounted units and a 2-unit approach. Overall, the guide provides deep insights into troop management, map interaction, and battle mechanics for mastering the mid-game. This page continues the strategy guide for Dragon Force 2, delving deeper into mechanics and providing a specific walkthrough. It covers crucial elements like effective domestic policy management, stressing the importance of understanding your ruler's strengths and weaknesses, and balancing troop types. It also details the significance of upgrading castles to expand territory and troop capacity, highlighting the maximum number of hired soldiers. The guide explains how to best utilize your subordinates for efficient internal affairs, and discusses the process for researching weapons and armor, noting that success isn't guaranteed. A section is dedicated to recruiting captured enemy rulers, explaining the steps involved in persuading them to join your side. Following these general tips, the page transitions into a specific scenario walkthrough, likely for King Rain of the Highland Kingdom. It outlines the journey to confront the demon race in Legendra, detailing key encounters with rulers like Gleesalais and Dorgal. The guide then covers the pursuit of Siren, leading to a confrontation with King Dorgal and a significant battle against Gideon. Further progression involves heading to Fandaria Kingdom and later to Topaz Kingdom to meet a character known as the Weeping Fox. Scattered throughout this walkthrough are checkpoint sections that highlight specific objectives, such as recruiting Kinsella from Fura Village, establishing a base at Robert Castle, and preparing for a major battle at Shujutsu Castle in Topaz, emphasizing the need for maximum troop deployment there. This Dragon Force 2 guide provides early game strategies for different kingdoms. For Fandaria, unite the nation by conquering demon remnants, capturing Rosso Castle, and uncovering Topaz's plot, culminating in battles at Shujutsu Castle. The Highland Kingdom path focuses on confronting demons, including Midia, and meeting Queen Tyrese, leading to battles against King Averels at Maze Castle. The Bozak Kingdom involves following Gungas and battling demons at Quarian and Kiel castles, requiring strategic unit composition. Finally, the Northwest path involves recruiting Kinsella, facing Fandaria officers, and conquering locations like Kurat Castle. The guide emphasizes character recruitment, strategic movement, and crucial battles across various territories. This page provides a comprehensive guide for mastering chocobo racing, known as Chokok Park in Japan, and achieving overall victory. It emphasizes that collecting high-performance chocobos makes the races significantly easier. The guide covers essential techniques for efficient chocobo collection and winning races. Key effective techniques include mastering attack item usage, knowing when to deploy items like tire and oil traps for maximum impact, utilizing the tire jump technique for strategic shortcuts or disrupting opponents, and effectively deploying oil slicks to hinder rivals, especially on the record line. Getting a rocket start is highlighted as crucial for getting ahead early, especially in time attack modes or challenging opponents immediately. The page also breaks down the characteristics of different race areas: circuit, forest, city, mountain, and the final area, garden, dungeon, illusion, and recommends suitable chocobo types for each, such as master type, safety driving type, or cornering type, noting that optimal strategies vary by course layout and required speed or handling. It stresses the importance of minimizing crashes, particularly in the challenging final area. Finally, it offers valuable intel on specific chocobos becoming available during certain in-game time periods as time sales.
This page provides a detailed strategy guide for the Sega Saturn title, Dungeon Master Nexus. It aims to help players navigate and conquer the dungeon, covering content all the way down to the 7th floor. The guide stresses that understanding your party members' characteristics and mastering item effects are crucial for success. Extensive data is presented, including detailed stats for the 20 potential heroes you can recruit, a comprehensive list of monsters you'll face with their vital statistics, a breakdown of various magic effects, and a list covering the properties of weapons and armor available in the game. Specific tips are offered for individual levels. Level 2 advice focuses on combat tactics against challenging enemies like the Screamer and solving environmental puzzles. It also points out key items found on this floor. Level 3 highlights the importance of effectively using teleportation fields to solve puzzles, finding hidden doors, and interacting with switches to advance. Maps are provided for both Level 2 and 3, indicating important locations, item drops, and puzzle elements, helping players chart their path through the labyrinth. This guide is packed with essential information to survive the dungeon's challenges. This page continues the comprehensive strategy guide for Dungeon Master Nexus, delving into the deeper levels of the dungeon. It covers levels 4 through 7, offering maps and tactical advice for each floor. Level 4 involves finding hidden rooms and switches activated by placing specific coins in a spring, with hints hidden within items. Level 5 presents a crucial fork in the path that tests either the party's strength or intelligence, featuring teleportation puzzles and interactive stone plates that reveal information or trigger events. The guide then moves to Level 6, emphasizing the need to defeat a magician to clear illusions and solve panel puzzles, culminating in a challenging encounter with a massive dragon boss that demands specific combat strategies like rear attacks and fire resistance. Finally, Level 7 introduces the imposing Golem, detailing how to open paths by arranging items on shelves and recommending hit-and-run tactics to overcome the powerful foe, along with notes on a shooting gallery section. Detailed maps for each level, highlighting key locations and items, accompany the text, along with lists of notable items found on each floor. The next page offers a comprehensive strategy guide for the game, Dukoku Soshite, focusing on achieving specific character endings. It primarily details the routes for the characters Shirakawa, Kotori, and Norma Wendy, highlighting critical point events and important events required to influence outcomes. Key moments discussed include giving Kotori a maid outfit, helping her solve a 15 puzzle, and a significant event in the changing room. For Norma, important events involve meeting her at the car wash and solving the 25 degrees Xi trap. The guide explains that accumulating points through these events is crucial for unlocking different endings, such as Norma's deep sleep and Kotori's sadness and empathy endings. It emphasizes that certain events, like Kotori's changing room experience, are essential prerequisites. This page delves deeper into the intricate pathways of Dukoku Soshite, focusing on specific character-related events crucial for uncovering secrets and reaching different outcomes. It outlines important events, like discovering Suzune's intentions in the storage room, leading to revealing CGS. Golden events highlight moments such as finding a secret memo related to Suzune, or opening the door to the heart through interaction with Chisato, often tied to revealing character backgrounds or motivations. Life/death events detail perilous situations like Normal being trapped in the bathtub, requiring specific items to overcome, or encountering a trap in the award room connected to a hidden memo. Finally, side events cover more personal moments, such as experiencing Norma's kindness in the maid room while resting with Chisato. These sections guide the player through significant narrative and visual points, emphasizing the consequences and rewards of different choices and interactions with the characters. This page features a special project centered around the game Dukoku Soshite. It presents a developer queue and a session, addressing fan questions about the game's mysteries and production details, with various staff members providing insights into the plot, character design, and development process. The page also reveals the results of a character popularity poll. Topping the poll is Aoki Chisato at number 1, followed by Sasamoto Ryo in second place. There's a tie for third place between Hattori Itsumi and Kanae. Norma Wendy ranks 5th, and Shirakawa Korin comes in 6th. The page includes illustrations of these top characters, and snippets of fan comments explaining why they are popular, highlighting specific scenes or personality traits. The Q&A section covers a range of topics,
from plot points and character backstories to technical questions, offering behind-the-scenes glimpses into the game's creation and lore. Overall, the page provides a mix of fan engagement and developer commentary, celebrating the game and its characters. This page features a spread highlighting 2 upcoming adventure games. On the left, we see Ojo-sama Tokyo, Lady Express, an adventure game with an illustration of a large group of characters seemingly on a train journey. It promotes the game's release on July 9th for both Sega Saturn and PlayStation. The right side focuses on Himitsu Sentai Metamor v. Secret Sentai Metamor vs. an adventure game described as a growth heroine series, featuring a team of colorful superheroine characters. It includes character art and a few small screenshots, announcing its release on April 23rd for the Sega Saturn, and mentioning related music and drama creds. The page acts as an advertisement for both titles, providing brief details and release information. This page promotes 2 essential gaming guides for fans of the era, humorously stating, "Sorry, both are thick." On the left, we have the 98 Spring Edition of the Ultra Techniques Daigurin, a massive compendium boasting over 12,000 cheats and secrets, covering virtually every game released on 13 different consoles, spanning over 7,400 titles across its immense 1256 pages. It features a distinctive 3D rendered character on the cover. This book is already available. The right side details the spring special issue of the Strategy Daigurin, a 292-page guide focused on conquering the latest hits. It promises in-depth strategies for games like Super Robot Wars, Final Chapter on Saturn, Parasite Even on PlayStation, and Sakura Wars 2 on Saturn. Additionally, it offers straight-to-the-ending guides for major titles such as Resident Evil 2, Tales of Destiny, and Tenchu on PlayStation, among many others. The book is packed with crucial charts, maps, and game trivia needed to clear these titles. This strategy guide was scheduled for release around April 24th, priced tentatively at 790 yen. This page features promotion for a PlayStation dating simulation game called Sequel First Love Story. School Trip on the left, showcasing a sweet illustration of the protagonist. The game lets you experience first love during a school trip period, spanning different educational stages. It's listed for PlayStation, costing 7,800 yen and using 4 keydroms, and is currently on sale. On the right, there's an advertisement for a comprehensive strategy guide for this very game. Titled Super Strategy Guide DX Private Tutor, this full-color book provides character-specific complete strategies, thorough replay guides, and tips for clearing special events easily, even including exam questions with answers. It promises to help you master the game and become a private tutor figure. This guide is priced at 790 yen and is also available now. The page also briefly lists other strategy guides/books available for games like Breath of Fire 2i, Gallop Racer 2, Crime Crackers 2, Super Robot Wars, F, Blaze and Blade, and Dukoku Soshite for PlayStation and Sega Saturn. This page features a prominent promotion for the Sega Saturn game Kario Tatsuse, a 3D action fighting game where players battle on stages floating in the sky. The game is highlighted for its simple controls, fun multiplayer battles for up to 4 players, diverse stages, and a rich cast of characters voiced by popular actors. Screenshots show the vibrant 3D environments and character designs. The game is set to release on May 28th. The page also includes a section dedicated to reader feedback from questionnaire postcards. It features short comments from readers about games they've played recently, their gaming experiences, and various thoughts. This section also presents rankings of the most and least interesting articles from a previous magazine issue based on reader votes, and announces winners of a prize draw from that issue's questionnaire. This page kicks off the Ranking Street section, delivering the latest software information based on actual sales data and reader questionnaires. We start with the Saturn sales ranking for 2 weeks in March. The first week saw Eve the Lost One taking the top spot, while the second week was dominated by The King of Fighters 97, which launched with massive sales numbers, securing the #1 position. Other strong performers included Neon Genesis Evangelion and The House of the Dead. The rankings show a mix of new hits and older stable sellers, like Sakura Wars. Moving on, there's a feature highlighting Langrisser V, The End of Legend, the latest entry in the popular tactical RPG series that originated on the Mega Drive. It's noted for being a highly anticipated title, continuing a long legacy.
The page also presents rankings based on reader feedback. The pre-release popularity ranking lists upcoming games readers are most excited about, with Super Robot Wars F Final leading the charge, followed by titles like Friends, The Radiance of Youth, and Darkstalkers 3. The port request ranking shows which games readers most want to see ported to the Saturn. Topping this list are games like Magical Ability, Welcome to Pia Carrot, and To Heart, alongside major titles from other platforms such as Tales of Destiny and Final Fantasy Version 2. Finally, there's an announcement about an upcoming ranking event specifically focused on Capcom titles, inviting readers to vote for their favorites. This page kicks off the reader-driven Game Report Card section, presenting both a ranking derived from player feedback and individual game reviews. A central theme highlighted is a face-off between titles from notable creators Mamoru Yokota and Kenichi Sonoda, specifically featuring Kokoku Soshite and Tsuchiyapai Adventure Doki Doki Nightmare. There's a table listing various games, including Burning Rangers and Battle Garega, showing their ranks and reader-submitted scores across categories like scenario, graphics, and overall satisfaction. The majority of the page is dedicated to reader reviews, offering diverse opinions on several games. Players discuss aspects like the narrative depth, visual presentation, and overall gameplay experience, providing insights into what resonated most with the Saturn audience for these ranked titles. This page continues the reader-driven ranking section, showcasing games ranked 4th, 5th, and 6th based on player feedback. Coming in at 4th is the fantastic action title, Burning Rangers. Readers praise its unique 3D graphics and innovative firefighting gameplay, highlighting the thrill of rescuing civilians and the engaging level design. The sense of freedom and the compelling atmosphere were major plus points for many players, despite some finding the controls a bit tricky initially. The developer thanks players and mentions the challenge of creating a unique experience. In 5th place, we have the challenging shooter, Battle Garega. Players lauded its strategic depth and intense bullet patterns, noting the satisfaction of mastering its complex mechanics. While some found the difficulty demanding, the sense of accomplishment from overcoming obstacles resonated strongly. The developer expresses gratitude and encourages players to fully explore the game's systems. Finally, ranking 6th is White Witch, another heroic legend. Readers commented on its charming story and appealing characters, with many appreciating the detailed visuals and the narrative presentation. Some feedback touched on the game's flow and specific design choices, but overall the emotional impact and character interactions were well received. The developer acknowledges the feedback and looks forward to future titles. Overall, the page gives a great snapshot of player opinions on these diverse Sega Saturn titles, covering everything from frantic shooters to immersive action-adventure games. Please provide the text you want me to summarize. This page features extensive ranking data based on reader polls. The real-time game ranking section covers overall game popularity and hardware preferences. The hardware ranking shows Sega Saturn and PlayStation as the top contenders, with analysis discussing why readers primarily owning Saturn voted for it and the potential impact of PlayStation ports on hardware preference. Below, there's a comprehensive ranking of Sega Saturn software as of March 5th. Derived from reader votes, with points allocated based on placement. This section lists numerous games and their ranking data. Some top-ranking games visible include Grandia, Sakura Wars, and even Burst Error. This page dives into a detailed look at Roommate 3, Ryoko in the Wind's Shining Morning, with a large graphic announcing a "Continue to report!" It features a prominent illustration of the main character, Ryoko, and previews gameplay elements. The focus is on the ability to invite Ryoko to various date spots, highlighting that there are 4 main locations. Several screenshots show intimate moments and dialogue with Ryoko at these different places, including a park, a shop, and what appears to be a convenience store, along with a curious image of a mask. The left side of the page features a section titled, Hello, from the survey postcards from Nadeshiko Volume 3, showcasing reader feedback and illustrations. It also lists winners for various prizes related to Volume 3, including items from games like Even the Lost One, Even Burst Error, and Atelier Marie, which were popular in the rankings on previous pages. The reader contributions feature small character illustrations, including Athena Asamiya, adding a personal touch from the fanbase. This page is a survey and postcard form included within the magazine. The left side provides numbered boxes and lines,
likely intended for readers to fill out responses to survey questions found elsewhere in the issue. On the right, it's designed as a return postcard, pre-addressed to the Saturn Fan Reader Present application section in Tokyo, requiring a 50 yen stamp. Readers are instructed to select games they've played from a table on page 75 and rate them using the provided grid, essentially submitting a game report card. There's also a section for readers to indicate which prize they would like from the issue's giveaway by writing in the prize number. This serves as the mechanism for readers to participate in magazine surveys and contests. This page highlights key story and free events from the first half of the game, explaining the difference between scenario-driven events and free events that occur under specific conditions to deepen relationships. It details significant moments, such as the stressful day before the entrance exam and the feeling of relief afterwards, even mentioning skipping class to play guitar. There's also a section on helping with the graduation album production, a moment reflecting on high school memories. We also see a friend, Nori, making plans for her future at vocational school. A surprising event is Ryoko's sudden refusal to attend the graduation ceremony, feeling it's too sad. Free events discussed include Ryoko baking gingerbread, a sweet moment showing her domestic side. There's also a curious event about Ryoko's hair color, changing from black in the previous game to brown, a mystery linked to her time in America. Finally, the arrival of a stray cat named Gonta leads to interactions involving Ryoko and the protagonist debating whether to keep him. A large image shows Ryoko expressing relief that the important entrance exam is finally over. The page concludes with an announcement of winners for a signed phone card prize and a section featuring heartfelt comments from readers sharing their feelings for Ryoko. This page dives into the core gameplay loop of Multilancer Reinforce after the initial training period, focusing on developing Randy into an officer candidate. The key feature highlighted is how the story branches significantly based on which officer path you aim for: commander, searcher, or inspector. Weekdays are dedicated to Lancer work and training, where you select missions or training partners with senior Lancers, like Sylvie or Nana, influencing your evaluation. Sundays offer a break, allowing for rest to recover stamina, additional training, or important meetings and dates with senior Lancers. These interactions, often shown in screenshots, are crucial for improving relationships and unlocking special events, such as fun trips to the beach or more intimate conversations. The game also features seasonal events, showcasing sweet moments like receiving chocolates from children on Valentine's Day with Sakuya, or being dragged shopping for White Day by Sylvie, who hilariously expects a triple return. As the game progresses into the latter half, a major incident unfolds, and the player's choices will determine Randy's future and the game's outcome. The page also provides a brief overview of the game's details, confirming its simulation genre and release window. This page provides an in-depth look at the structure and gameplay of the mysterious game, Baroque. The core of the game revolves around repeatedly exploring the bizarre neural tower, with the ultimate goal of uncovering its secrets and reaching the final ending. The story is revealed to be divided into a 4-part structure, starting from the tower's lowest floor and progressing through challenging conditions. The page details the progression, noting that reaching the lowest floor is crucial for advancing between story parts, though the exact conditions for moving from Part 1 to Part 3 are hinted at as special requirements. Gameplay involves navigating the tower, battling grotesque creatures known as irregulars, like Polgar, J-Rom, and San Combo, and using weapons and items in real-time combat. A unique concept called purification is mentioned as a way to deal with these enemies. The save system is described as being tied to specific staircase points, only available while moving between floors. The ending of the first part is highlighted, describing the protagonist reaching the lowest floor and encountering a powerful entity known as the Creation God, who gives a command. Interestingly, death in the tower leads to the protagonist's reincarnation, starting the journey over but retaining some progress or knowledge. The screenshots showcase various environments within the tower, character interactions, and the disturbing designs of the irregulars. This page gives us an in-depth look at Shigeru Mizuki's Yokai Encyclopedia, a unique adventure and database fusion game. It centers around collecting yokai inspired by the legendary artist Shigeru Mizuki's extensive work and real-world collection efforts. The page features an interview with Shigeru Mizuki himself, where he discusses his lifelong passion for seeking the unseen, and how drawing yokai serves as a form of communication with these mysterious beings. He shares anecdotes about his collection journeys, highlighting the vast number of yokai he's encountered globally. In the game, players embark on an adventure to seek out and collect yokai, expanding the encyclopedia. The database aspect allows players to learn about the creatures they encounter. Combat is part of the adventure, leading to experience points which are essential for progressing. The game boasts an impressive roster, featuring a total of 971 different yokai to discover, including the unsettling Akashita and the imposing Nararahian, both depicted with Mizuki's distinctive style in screenshots. The game blends adventure with a rich database to create a comprehensive exploration of the yokai world. This page provides a detailed look at the upcoming Sega Saturn release of Super Real Mahjong P7. This follow-up report focuses on the complete version, highlighting the quality of the port and the inclusion of animation and special scenes. The game centers around the protagonist interacting with three distinct female characters, Mahina Yurina, Mahina Natsuki, and Randu Mecha. The page introduces each character with illustrations and brief descriptions of their personality and story scenarios, leading up to the protagonist being invited to a villa by the trio. Screenshots showcase both the Mahjong gameplay interface and dynamic character cutscenes, including the much-anticipated strip scenes mentioned in the title. The overall quality of the animation and character sprites is praised, noted as being comparable to the arcade version. There's also mention of extras included with the game, such as a dress-up cell set bonus featuring character illustrations in different outfits. The page emphasizes the immersive story sequences and the appeal of the characters, making the complete version a notable release for fans of the series. This page presents a detailed follow-up report on the Sega Saturn adventure game Cross Tante Monogatari, delving into its scenario development through an interview with developer Yutaka Kanaga from PlanPlan. The article emphasizes the significant effort put into creating the game's story, revealing that the 7 main scenarios took approximately 2 years to write, with a strong focus on logic and consistency, requiring extensive research including reading detective novels and consulting professionals. Mr. Kanaga expresses confidence in the scenarios, highlighting their variety and the logical structure of the mysteries, stating that the scenario makes up about 70% of the game's experience. He also recommends reading The Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon, suggesting similar themes or complexity. The page also previews the first 4 episodes of the game, offering brief descriptions and illustrations hinting at the mysteries involved, such as a detective's birth, suspicion surrounding an incident, a twisted prestigious school, and a memory-related case. Additionally, there's information about a giveaway offering a trial version of the game to 100 people. This page offers a follow-up report on the game Friends, focusing on details revealed from a sample version shown at TGS, particularly highlighting changes in features compared to a potential Win95 release. The report examines the system arrangement, confirming it's an adventure game, and delves into character presentation. A significant improvement noted is the addition of blinking eyes and lip syncing for standing character portraits, enhancing the visual realism during dialogue. The game also features a much wider variety of facial expressions and reactions for characters like Tsubasa and Midori, tied dynamically to the conversation flow. While these animations are present for standing characters, the report questions if they apply to full-screen illustrations. The navigation system, described as character-based, seems to progress smoothly, although there's a hint of a potential caveat. As a bonus, the page includes a must-see swimsuit info section showcasing various characters, including male characters like Ryusuke, Yosuke, and Fujio, and female characters such as Mizuho and Ayaka in their swimwear designs. Overall, the report suggests improvements in character animation and system design for this version of Friends. The next page features an in-depth look at Darkstalkers, Vampire Savior on the Sega Saturn. Promoted as the ultimate version, the article proudly states that the Saturn port, powered by the 4 MB expansion RAM cartridge, is a near-perfect rendition of the arcade fighter that surpasses it in some ways. A major highlight is the inclusion of fan-favorite characters Donovan, Huitzil, Phobos, and Pyron, who were not originally in the arcade Vampire Savior but are added here, completing the roster from the earlier Darkstalkers games. The write-up discusses the game's fast-paced combat system, emphasizing the importance of stylish special moves, X and X attacks, and the flow of impressive chain combos. It also touches on the unique impact damage gauge system, which allows strategic offense and recovery. Screenshots show intense battles featuring characters like Jeddah, Baby Bonnyhood, Morrigan, Victor Frankenstein, and Dimitri. The piece clearly conveys excitement for the quality of this port, thanks to the extra memory. This page provides an exciting deep dive into the roster of Darkstalkers, Vampire Savior. It introduces the 4 new characters making their debut in this installment: Baby Bonnyhood, the deceptively innocent girl with a deadly basket; QB, a unique bee-like fighter. Jeddah, the powerful and mysterious Dark Messiah. And Lilith, a captivating succubus with ties to Morrigan. The article gives a brief overview of each, accompanied by vibrant character art and screenshots showing them in action, highlighting their distinct appearances and fighting styles. Beyond the newcomers, the page also confirms the return of beloved characters from the previous Darkstalkers and Night Warriors games. It states that 14 characters from Hunter, Night Warriors, including fan favorites like Morrigan, Dimitri, and Sasquatch, are featured in this Saturn version, all equipped with new techniques to keep the gameplay fresh. Various screenshots across the bottom showcase a range of these returning fighters, such as Pyron, John Talbane, Victor Frankenstein, Dimitri, Sasquatch, Phobos, Bishaman, Felicia, and Donovan, confirming the expanded roster and hinting at the dynamic battles players can expect. The focus is clearly on the comprehensive character list and the updated movesets, making this Saturn port feel complete. This page delves into two distinct gaming experiences. First, it highlights Savaki, a fighting game centered around mastering the art of defense through dodging, across its roster of 7 diverse fighting styles, including karate, boxing, and Jeet Kune Do. Successfully evading attacks creates crucial openings for your offense, showcased in various screenshots depicting specific techniques and martial arts matchups. Secondly, the page introduces Gal Act Heroism, an RPG presented with a lighthearted, comical touch. The game follows 3 aspiring young adventurers as they undergo a half-year training period. Gameplay involves taking on various quests to help townsfolk, exploring different locations, and engaging in turn-based battles, where tactical use of technique points is essential. The narrative focuses on their journey to become recognized heroes, with the player's actions leading to different outcomes. This page dives into Himitsu Sentai Metamol V, an adventure game on the Saturn, where 5 ordinary elementary school girls transform into the titular hero team to save Earth from evil aliens. The game structure is heavily influenced by TV anime, featuring opening sequences, transformation scenes, and episode-like progression across 6 chapters. Gameplay revolves around strategic planning and turn-based combat. Before battle, players synthesize keywords gained throughout the story to unlock strategies and powerful special attacks. The unique A-list system incorporates emotional choices, allowing players to react to situations with options like strong, weak, or calm, which affect the narrative path and character trust levels. In combat, character trust influences their effectiveness, and mastering special moves is key to victory. The page highlights signature moves like Color Genesis and introduces key figures like the main villain, Daikyoji Choro, and an ally, Space Detective Shatner. The game culminates in various endings, influenced by the player's actions and character relationships. This page continues the deep dive into Himitsu Sentai Metamol V, focusing on the heroes themselves and the beginning of their fight against the alien threat. We meet the 5 core members, each with their unique personality and color-coded transformation. There's Metamol Blue, the cool and collected fighter; Metamol Red, the energetic leader; Metamol Yellow, the cheerful bunny girl; Metamol Black, the mysterious girl in gothic fashion; and Metamol Purple, the youngest member with a nurse-like appearance. The page also outlines the first 4 episodes, giving players a taste of the game's narrative arc. It covers events like Metamol Red stepping up as the leader, Metamol Blue joining the team, a dramatic pinch for Metamol Purple, and the arrival of a mysterious transfer student in Episode 4, hinting at intrigue and new allies or challenges. The small screenshots give glimpses of the combat and dialogue scenes, showing the anime-style presentation and character interactions central to the game. It's clear this game leans heavily into the tokusatsu and magical girl anime genres, promising a story-driven adventure with plenty of character moments and turn-based battles. This page details Bomberman Wars, a unique entry in the series that incorporates strategic simulation elements. Unlike traditional Bomberman, this game uses turn-based combat on a grid map. Players control units and place bombs, which count down 1 step each turn, typically exploding after 5 turns. The objective is to defeat the opponent's king unit, or eliminate all other enemy units. The game emphasizes strategic thinking, requiring players to understand unit abilities and effectively utilize items. Items found by destroying blocks offer standard power-ups like increased bombs or range, while items bought in the quest mode shop can have powerful effects. The game features a variety of distinct units, such as the Bomber Samurai who can speed up bomb fuses, the Bomber Giant who can move other units or bombs, the Bomber Cleric who can slow down bomb fuses, and the Bomber Fairy who can fly over any terrain. 2 modes are available: Battle Mode for competitive play against humans, or AI, and Quest Mode, a story-driven adventure that unlocks units. This iteration of Bomberman is all about careful planning and tactics, rather than pure speed. This page features Nobunaga's Ambition 2, Sengoku Gunyuden, presented as a remake and full port. This historical simulation game puts you in the role of a Sengoku period daimyo aiming to unify Japan. The page details the core gameplay loop, which involves developing towns and fields to increase income and national strength. Combat is shown through both field battles and castle sieges, with distinct mechanics for day and night phases. The different unit types, infantry, cavalry, and musketeers, each have unique movement capabilities and special attacks. The game also includes a military advisor system, where skilled strategists offer crucial advice, and profiles of notable historical figures involved in the conflict. An arrange mode is highlighted as a new addition to this version, allowing players to customize gameplay settings. The next page showcases Graduation 2-1, Wedding Bell, the latest entry in the popular simulation series where you step into the shoes of a teacher at an all-girls school. Your mission is to guide 5 specific problem students towards graduation. This installment introduces a significant new element. You are a married man, and one of these problem students is your wife. The game splits your time between the demands of school life and the joys of married life. At school, you provide instruction, give special one-on-one lectures, and administer tests to raise your students' 8 key parameters like academics, arts, and common sense. Success in these areas is crucial for their graduation. Outside of school, you manage your relationship with your wife, including going on dates, which adds a unique personal layer to the simulation. The page introduces the 5 main students you'll be working with, each with their own personality and challenges. It also highlights various gameplay systems, from the detailed student status screens and guidance options to mini-games representing school events, and a helpful mascot character, Cowbell, who offers advice when you're stuck. This blend of educational simulation and romantic relationship management makes Graduation 2 is a distinctive experience. This page highlights the return of the acclaimed 3D shooting game, Gungriffon 2. 2 years after the original, this sequel retains the familiar atmosphere while adding significant new features, notably online communication capabilities. The game offers 4 distinct modes to tackle varied missions. Beyond the main scenario mode, there's exercise for practice, survival to test your limits, and versus battle for competitive play. A major addition is the double-seater system, allowing 2 players to team up, with one controlling movement and the other handling weapons, adding a new layer to cooperative gameplay. The scenario mode takes you through a compelling story set during the Third World War, with various missions across different battlefields, like the Libyan desert and a freshwater plant. Objectives involve eliminating enemies and protecting key targets. The standard cockpit view is similar to the first game, featuring essential gauges for radar, damage, jump capability, and weapon status. Before deploying, players can customize their mech and weapon loadout, although choices may be restricted depending on the mission and mode. Different mech types are available, each with varying capabilities in air and ground combat, including the balanced HIMAX, heavily armored AWGS, attack helicopters, and tanks. The game also supports link cable battles for cooperative and competitive multiplayer, making the communication mode a core appeal of this sequel. This page features 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles. First up is Gameid Seishun o Tanoshimu, a unique board game simulation where players navigate 50 years of virtual youth, making choices that influence their life path, career, relationships, and engaging in various mini-games, notably featuring a diceless movement system where you choose your steps. Below that is Sound Cube, a puzzle game introducing a novel concept where players must listen to sound cues to identify and eliminate matching cubes in a 3D space using sonar, adding an auditory layer to the typical block matching genre. This page features reviews and impressions of upcoming Sega Saturn software releases. It includes intros for the magazine's various reviewers, before diving into several prominent titles. First up is Super Robot Wars F Final Chapter, the conclusion to the epic strategy RPG series. Reviewers praise its massive scale, huge volume of units, and satisfying conclusion, noting it delivers exactly what fans expect from the series finale. Next is Gungriffon 2, the sequel to the mech simulation shooter. It's highlighted for significant improvements in online communication battles, offering intense, realistic tank warfare that builds upon the foundation of the first game. Darkstalkers 3. Vampire Savior makes a strong impression as a high-quality 2D fighting game. Utilizing the Saturn's 4 MB RAM, it's lauded as a near-perfect arcade port, particularly recommended for beginners to the series due to its accessibility and depth. Finally, Sakura Wars 2. Thou Shalt Not Die is featured, continuing the popular adventure and simulation series. Reviewers are impressed with its enhanced graphics, detailed character expressions, and refined battle system, calling it a worthy and improved sequel that delivers on expectations. Overall, the page showcases several anticipated and well-received titles covering various genres. This page features reviews of several distinct Sega Saturn titles across a range of genres. First up is Savaki, a fighting game described as having an easy-to-understand system, although opinions are mixed on its overall depth. Customization takes center stage in Kumitate Battle Kutsuketo, a battle simulation where players can create their own fighters, a feature reviewers found particularly enjoyable. Himitsu Sentai Metamor Va, an adventure game, draws attention for its concept and character art, though gameplay impressions are varied. The unique puzzle game Square Sound Cube is highlighted for its innovative use of sound as the primary gameplay mechanic. Iu Shigan Gal Act Heroism is presented as a simulation RPG, with a focus on story and character interactions. Lastly, Bomberman Wars is reviewed as a strategy game spin-off, adapting the classic Bomberman formula into a turn-based format. The reviewers offer their takes and scores for each game, giving players a quick look at these new Saturn releases. This page delves into impressions of several Sega Saturn titles, starting with 2 board game-style experiences. The first is described as a youth-focused board game, aiming for a fun multiplayer experience, though reviewers felt it lacked a strong sense of competition. The second is a chase-style board game incorporating romance elements, which was seen as strong on concept but perhaps less successful in fully integrating its narrative. A significant portion of the page features a reviewer roundtable discussion, touching on notable games like Sakura Wars 2, the aerial combat game Gun Griffon 2, and the strategy RPG Super Robot Wars F Final Edition. The conversation highlights the excitement around multiplayer and link cable play, especially for Gun Griffon 2, which was a popular mode among the editorial staff. They also revisit impressions of Himitsu Sentai Metamor, verses from the previous page, and there's a small feature introducing a new character, Metamor Blue. The overall tone suggests a diverse range of experiences, from social simulations to intense mecha battles. This page dives into the imminent arcade release of Fighting Vipers 2. It highlights the various game modes players can expect, showcasing the improvements and additions since the first game. The standard com mode is detailed, featuring a new branching stage system that changes opponents based on the player's route. The return of BM, the series' formidable final boss, is confirmed, looking visually enhanced and promising a tough challenge, possibly leading to a bonus stage. A ranking system is also introduced, evaluating player performance after a game over. 2 distinct modes are covered. Survival mode, a time-limited endurance challenge where winning with a super KO restores armor, aimed at skilled players seeking to push their limits. And random mode, which mixes up opponent order from the standard com mode, adding unpredictability and tension to each playthrough. Finally, the versus mode is presented, emphasizing the competitive aspect and confirming that all 11 playable characters, including newcomers, are available from the start for head-to-head battles. The page is accented with various screenshots of gameplay and a large illustration featuring the entire diverse cast, building anticipation for the game's arcade debut. This page jumps straight into the high-stakes world of Cyber Troopers Virtualon Oratorio Tangram, reporting on the intense national tournament held on March 29th. This championship saw 66 finalists, selected from a massive pool of 50,000 participants, compete for ultimate bragging rights. The article covers the heated battles, culminating in the final match, and names the champion. It also breaks down the popularity of different Virtuoids among the top players, noting the strong presence of Temjin and APHARMD, though many other units were piloted in the finals. The event wasn't just about the main competition. Side attractions included exclusive merchandise sales, a free play area for the game, a rock-paper-scissors contest for rare goods, and a live performance by Tomoko Yamaguchi, the voice of Feiyan. The page also features a special tournaments-only photo booth and highlights the impressive official poster for Oratorio Tangram. Finally, there's a mention of a giveaway for game merchandise, including items related to Top Skater. The page showcases various arcade and console releases. Beat Mania Second Mix, an updated rhythm game, offers enhanced gameplay and more songs. Our Gladiator 2, Plasma Sword, features a larger roster, improved graphics, and a dynamic plasma field system. Guardian Forces, a Saturn port, is a vertical scrolling shooter with a unique control scheme and powerful weapon upgrades. Finally, the Virtua Fighter series is permanently preserved at the Smithsonian, highlighting its historical and technological impact on the gaming industry. This page features Hyper Ultech, a collection of hidden tips and tricks for various Sega Saturn games submitted by readers. It rates the tips based on their usefulness and uniqueness. The page provides cheats and secrets for titles like Jikyu, Powerful Pro Yakyu, showing how to reveal player stats during trades and unlock funny face parts for custom players. For Panzer Dragoon Saga, it details how to find the Dragon Leaf and evolve your dragon into the powerful solo wing form. There's a quick command for Jikyu Powerful Pro Yakyu 98 that ends the first inning immediately with a win. Time Commando players get a list of cheat codes for health, weapons, and more, accessible from the pause menu. Fans of the high school romance genre will find secret nicknames for Gansho Trial Love that trigger specific story arcs and character appearances. There's even a trick for Nile Kawa no Yoke that lets you view and interact with enemy cities on the map. Finally, Winter Heat offers a humorous command to transform athletes into the iconic Discman character for a different kind of competition. The page concludes with a call for readers to submit their own discoveries for Sega Saturn games. This page focuses on Project E, which links the game to a new radio show featuring voice actresses Yamamoto Yuri and Niji Amiri as personalities representing characters Hitomi and Yumi. They discuss starting the show, interacting with listeners, and the ongoing voice recording for the game. The voice recording section specifically mentions the character Tatsuya Gunji, highlighting the depth of voice work involved. Details are also provided on a Gaiden project based on reader-submitted story ideas, including auditions for voice actors. A significant announcement is the upcoming Windows version of the game, slated for release in July, promising additional content. Information is also included about a CD release from one of the voice actresses. The page features a character profile for Tatsuya Gunji from the game, detailing his background, personality, and struggles, providing insight into this key figure. Finally, the page calls for reader submissions for various project-related corners and contests. This page brings you the latest news wave from the Saturn world. While the SEGA Awards '97 saw PlayStation take many honors, Saturn's Grandia proudly won the grand prize, showcasing the system's quality titles alongside other recognized games like Gran Turismo and Final Fantasy Version 2. Beyond the awards, exciting events are happening. Tokyo Joyopolis has unleashed a new horror attraction, the Horror Ride, promising terrifying thrills. Fighting game fans can test their skills in a nationwide real bout Fatal Fury 2, the Newcomers Tournament, held across 200 locations. Promotions are underway for Sakura Wars 2, offering collectible cards with special snacks. Arcade enthusiasts can look forward to the new Blast City cabinet for the realistic fishing game, Get Base. On the media front, there's a heartwarming message from a key figure related to Sagata Senshiro. The beloved Sakura Wars series is expanding into a musical, showcasing the Flower Maiden squad on stage. Connecting to the previous page, the radio show Dear My Friends has launched, featuring voice actress Kugimi Yari, discussing the game and interacting with listeners. Finally, Spunk's popular character Athena from the King of Fighters series is now starring in her own television drama, a must-watch for fans. This page highlights a variety of media, events, and merchandise for anime and gaming fans. Super Robot Spirits radio show features anime music artists. Atlas launches a music label with a 2-disc Devil Summoner soundtrack. Gundam celebrates its 20th anniversary with contests, events, and film releases. Puyomon Hanpo expands to Harajuku. Hori releases a new racing steering controller. An exhibition showcases Yoshitaka Amano's art. Video and music releases include Slayers, Even Burst Error, and 10 Plant soundtracks. Readers can win posters, merchandise, and phone cards. This page showcases upcoming titles, giving gamers a glimpse of new experiences hitting the Sega Saturn. Featured prominently is Lupin III, the Sage of the Pyramid, an action game presented with 3D polygonal graphics. Players guide Lupin through a pyramid filled with traps, focusing on treasure hunting and escaping challenges. The game promises a mix of action and the series' signature comedic style, enhanced by the inclusion of original animation segments featuring iconic characters like Lupin, Jijin, Fujiko Mine, and even Inspector Zenigata. So previewed is Druid Pursuer Into Darkness, an adventure title. Set on mysterious islands, the game involves searching for a missing druid, solving puzzles, and engaging in combat using elemental powers. Screenshots display a mix of 3D character models and 2D environments, typical of the era's adventure games. Rounding out the previews are Aim for the Young Lady, an adventure game with a strong visual novel style, featuring anime character designs, and likely focusing on story and character interactions. Finally, GT24 is highlighted, a racing game centered around the challenging 24-hour endurance race format, complete with detailed pit-stop mechanics for repairs and maintenance, offering a realistic racing simulation experience. This page previews a mix of upcoming simulation, action RPG, and various other titles. Featured prominently on the left is Boldyland, a real-time simulation where players guide the charming Boldies to conquer the world. You manage different Boldy classes like workers and soldiers, build structures, and can even use powerful interventions like controlling the weather. The screenshots show the strategic element of distributing units and launching attacks. Below that is Soul Divide, an action RPG where you navigate dungeons that change each time you enter. The game incorporates a unique card system for battles and allows for card trading, offering a different twist on the genre, and it even supports competitive two-player battles. The right side provides an anticipated title's latest status report, giving brief updates on a variety of games. This includes popular RPG sequels like Lunar 2, Eternal Blue and Langrisser V, survival horror in Deep Fear, unique Japanese titles like the train simulator Densha de Go, the popular simulation Princess Maker 3, Fairy Tales Come True, and compilations like Capcom Generation. It also features the Saturn port of the arcade action game Soul Divide. The report highlights the diverse range of genres coming soon to the console. This page presents the comprehensive release calendar for the Sega Saturn, detailing upcoming titles with their planned release dates, publishers, and prices. The calendar spans from April through July and includes a substantial section for games still awaiting a firm launch date. Looking at the scheduled releases, April brought us titles like the adventure sequel Riven and the fighting game Vampire Savior. May featured games such as the challenging RPG Baroque and the fantastic port of Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. June's lineup included mech action in Gungriffon 2 and Part 2 of the epic Shining Force 2i. As we move into July and the undecided section, there's a wealth of anticipation for major releases. This includes survival horror with Resident Evil 2, intense fighting action in Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter and Virtua Fighter 3, and beloved RPGs like Suikoden and Heart of Darkness. The sheer variety across genres is impressive, with everything from simulations and RPGs to fighting games and adventures represented by a wide range of publishers. It really highlights the diverse library the Saturn was building. This page offers a glimpse into the next issue, highlighting extensive guides for Super Robot Wars Final Chapter and Sakura Wars 2, promising detailed strategies and smooth gameplay, warning readers that it's selling fast. There's also information on how to understand the magazine's game data tables and contact details for questions. The prominent section features the first CD drama adaptation of the acclaimed multi-site adventure game Even Burst Error. This release focuses on the Kojiro arc, promising to unravel mysteries from the original game and bridge the story to the next installment. It details the April 22nd release date and price, and mentions upcoming CD dramas based on Desire and the Marina arc of Even Burst Error. The page also includes a game index, listing various titles covered within the issue, and an index for advertisers. This page features a striking illustration for the King of Fighters 97, showcasing the pivotal characters of the Orochi saga. Front and center is Kyo Kusanagi, alongside his rival Yori Yagami, and the leader of the Yata clan, Chizuru Kagura. The artwork emphasizes the game's central theme, the revenge of Orochi, highlighting the culmination of the story arc on the Sega Saturn. The page confirms the game's impending release on the platform, and notes that it will require the necessary RAM cartridge for optimal performance. It's clearly positioned as a major title, bringing the intense 3-on-3 fighting action and the dramatic conclusion of the Orochi storyline to Saturn owners.